spoil it for you guys. I had to unmute and come in and call Joe a dick because he couldn't get his computer to work right.
Yeah, I got to go. Thank God.
Oh, shit. All right. So, yeah, what's up, guys? I had to get all my talking in real quick.
Why, you're afraid you're not going to get any?
Get it all talked out of me.
My Nest thermostat is not working.
It's the Nest. It has to be Canadian Ecobee.
It's in the garage. You took it out of somebody's house and I put it in my garage and it stopped.
I love those
working.
ones.
Hey, Jesus Fish said he doesn't like the intro anymore.
Okay.
So we got to make sure we pass that on to our research and development team.
Jason say no Chris, huh?
He's coming, hopefully.
Who?
No Chris, Jason Johnson.
Oh, yeah, whatever. F that guy.
Jason, do you believe this guy?
He'll be here. He'll be here. Calm down, guys.
Yeah.
Calm down. He's like, the main event. He's coming. He's just fashionably late as usual. So he can come in with the sparklers flying and all the wrestler music playing and all that stuff. That's all he's trying to do.
He's usually the first one in here.
He just messaged saying coming in now. He was in his truck, right? It was late day, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, I know we have a guest.
Oh, wait, no. Jesus Fish says he does like it.
Oh, okay, good. I know we have a guest today. Sorry, I don't want to cut anybody off. But the first time he said our guest in chat, I'm like, who the fuck is Quentin Tarantino or whatever his name was? Who is this guy, Adam? Adam?
Yo.
Hey, how about we wait till the guest gets here and then we can talk about who he is and what he does?
I still want to know at least a little bit.
We can let him explain that. That seems like it would make sense.
What did I miss?
Joe being a dick.
Chris, I'm pressing the button to bring you in. You're pressing the button to bring you in. Then I bring you back out. What's going on here?
I don't know, but you're lagging now.
Am I really?
Yeah,
Your whole
just
life
froze.
is lagging.
Yeah. Now you're fine. It just lagged for a second.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all the Christmas spirit getting in the way of the internet.
Someone said they want to step in for me.
It's a mystery, eh? Okay.
Step in.
Oh, man.
Step in or step up. So we got Mr. Big Clive. Clive, hope you're feeling better out there.
Yeah. Hopefully he got the vid.
Oh, look at this. We got Nate the House Whisperer in the house tonight.
He must know John because he's saying it's a mystery.
First time I met Nate, he was actually a little bit taller than I thought, but I remember asking him, like, are you standing in a hole? But he wasn't.
Yep.
That was, I think, like Nate's first impression of me.
That's why I didn't like me anymore. Alaska, Chipmunk, Will Speed, all the regular.
Lloyd.
I was actually talking to today
Tilapia.
about your house, Bill. He brought it up. Nate. And he's like, yeah, all Bill has to do is spray foam his top floor and he's going to be awesome. I said, he already did his basement. He's like, are you kidding me? He was surprised he did it.
Yeah, I already did the basement, but now that I'm getting estimates on all the rest of the stuff I have to do to the house, I'm like, I might just move because it's just going to cost me so much because I can't do it myself because I don't have the time nor the skill to really do it myself. Mostly the time. I could probably eventually learn how to do it, but dude, I don't have the time, man. I really don't. It's a romantic idea, but
if I ever do my house project, I'm gonna go crazy on all this stuff, and I'm gonna have to have people come help me. So I'm gonna have to flying people out, and
I know some guy was spray foaming our ductwork the other day, which didn't use 2 pound, they used a half pound, but he put double, so he says it's R60 because he put double of it. Anyways, long story short, I guess 2 pounds is supposed to have a vapor barrier, so we always ask for 2 pound. And you don't want to do it. It smells. It's nasty. And guys like you don't do that stuff. So keep it to the other guys.
See what Alaska says? Move to California. It's cheaper.
Yeah, just guys who like doing that.
Who like what? Spray foaming?
Yeah.
I like
California's pretty cheap, Bill. I think you should do it.
There's no way California is cheap. There's no way. Homeless people, they pay what, $50,000 just to have tents in the sidewalks.
The homeless people have more rights than the people actually living in houses.
As they should, because they're humans too.
Yeah, I don't know about that. They shouldn't be able to live on the sidewalk outside my house.
I mean, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't forget we got to say hi to our little buddy Randy and his big buddy Luke out there. So today is a sort of a special day for Randy. His grandpa passed away this time last year, so a moment of silence.
Moment of silence for Pappy, right? I think his name was
Pappy.
Or
Papa.
I think
Papa. Something like that.
Grandfather, they call him that, I think.
No, he called him Pap or
that was a super short moment of silence, by the way.
Yeah, we don't do.
Yeah, there was a
silence
moment
here.
there, though. There was a
smear?
moment.
To follow that
word?
up, I think we should say a word about our sponsors.
Yeah.
Let's do
So we've been working very hard to get sponsors, and we finally have 2 sponsors for you guys. One is a phenomenal sponsor.
I'm so excited.
We got Fat Tim's
Yeah,
Oreo
they're
stuffed
awesome.
hot dogs. Is the HVAC Overtime sponsor. They have just been helping us so much behind the scenes. I mean, we get all the Oreo stuffed hot dogs we could possibly ever want. It's delicious. You just pop them right in your mouth. You don't even.
I
need to
haven't
chew 'em.
had one of these.
Right
So
in.
what part of the Oreo stuffed in there? Is it just the cream filling in the hot dog?
all the parts. All the
Yeah,
parts.
so it's black, like crunchy stuff and cream filling.
They have black versions too.
When you say it like that, it sounds
Not
gross.
like that, Joe.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it just sounds gross, Chris. You're gonna get us kicked off our sponsorships.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
And also,
oh.
official sponsor of the HVAC Overtime show is Knickers, the original chocolate flavored stocking, now with nuts. It's with these fantastic sponsors we can now afford to pay for a website. So if you guys put HVAC Overtime in your little browser there, you can go to our website and see what's really up.
HVACOvertime.com.
Yeah, that
So
one.
if we were smart, we would have said go to HVACOvertime.com like literally as the show was ending. So that way they didn't
No.
click out of the YouTube. So I'm watching the subscriber or the viewers drop right now because they're all going to HVACOvertime.com.
I mean, open up another window in your computer, guys.
There you go.
Yeah, a second browser. You can do it. I know you guys are smart guys. You can do it.
So what you guys need to do, each of us did like little different things on the website. So go through the bios. The bios are pretty funny. What
I haven't read them yet.
about all of us. Yeah, they're pretty funny. So go through the bios.
They're all legit. They're all
Yes.
legit.
Very,
Can you-
very legit.
Truth.
Can one of you guys?
We got merch on there.
Yeah.
We got
Can one of you
bios
guys-
on there. We got
One of you
podcasts
guys-
on there. YouTube links on there. We should get TrueTech Tool links on there.
Yeah. Can one of you guys post a link of what people could like click and just post a
What do you
link.
mean? What people could click? You can click the buttons.
You mean like
No.
HVACOvertime.com?
On
Like
my
that
phone,
button?
I'm using it.
Literally,
No.
we just dropped from 75 viewers to 71.
If they go, it's in Thaddeus's chat.
I get it.
Thaddeus?
It's real hard to spell. But
What? No. They get
I still don't
10%
understand
discount,
what
guys,
is
if they
what
come
is he
from us,
speaking in
man.
Canada right now. I don't get it.
I don't know.
You guys
What are you
Fire
trying to say?
shit, House.
No.
Hey, did you guys see that picture House posted on the
Thaddeus,
Facebooks a while back
you
with no
watching it?
shirt on?
I'll hook it up.
all right.
Did you guys see that?
You guys
No, I
suck.
didn't because Joe was talking so rudely over you. I didn't hear what you said.
All right. Are we done talking about nothing?
You guys are melons.
No, we're talking about the website. Wait, what did you say, Bill?
You guys are melons.
What
you
about
guys see
someone
that?
without a shirt?
Yeah, House posted a picture a while back with no shirt on.
No,
No.
and I really don't look for pictures of dudes with no shirts on. Is
Why
that
don't
your
you
thing,
guys
Bill?
have? You guys don't have like alerts set up on your phone to?
I remember
let you know?
Bill commented on it. He said, why don't you save some chicks for the rest of us?
Yeah. That's all I can think of when I see House's name now. I'm shirtless,
Thanks, Will.
muscly dude.
All right. Well, should we
Yeah.
bring in our super special guest that
Yeah. That
Here you
nobody
go, Joe.
knows?
You
Well,
can
I don't
just
know.
go
Anyways.
Oh, what's his
Saving
name
that question about who he
Quentin
is,
John Tarantino. I don't know.
who he is, what he does.
Yeah.
It's John.
John.
It's
who?
John. Adam, give him an intro, man.
John Esquivel. I don't know how to say it. It's not the John Joe thought.
There you go.
Are you going to give him an
Oh,
intro?
he's muted. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's that Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah. Now we're completely demonetized. No.
That's how I gotta walk in. So Eddie Murphy. How y'all
There
doing,
you go.
brother?
Is that Beverly Hills Cop?
No,
Oh no, that's a
Oh,
good
that's
one.
my
That was a
favorite.
good one.
that was probably one of his.
That was
his-
party all the time. Most
specials or
fat
something
guys
like
are
that.
though, right?
Oh, from his actual album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had an album. Did you know? Completely off subject. Did you know Tom Green has a rap album?
Yes.
Nice.
Tom
Called-
Green is off
called
in the
Organized
boonies right now.
Rhyme.
Yeah, he is off in the boonies right
Dude,
now.
I want to be off in the boonies with Tom Green. That sounds like fun.
I think last time he was doing a van tour, like he was going around the
Yep.
country in a van trying to make a YouTube channel. Now he's doing something different. I don't remember what it was. I saw it come up, and it's like, dude, he is reaching right now.
Mm-hmm.
John, how do you say your last name?
Esquivel. Esquivel.
There you go.
Esquivel. There we are.
Sounds almost Italian.
Almost, but no, man.
Almost, but
all
just
the way.
Mexican.
Like Esquivoli would be more Italian, I guess.
I'm all the way Texan. My
Texan.
generation goes back.
Okay.
My uncle was called Tex Rico. That's how Texan I am.
Tex Rico. I wish I had a cool name like that.
Yeah, we were pushing AC back then with fans on, that's how we did it. Ice on fans.
Oh, so HVAC goes back into it's deep rooted into your family, huh?
No, I'm just talking a whole bunch of crap.
Adam, so how do you know John? Give him an introduction, because
John is making a little bit of a presence on Facebook. He's posting videos about all these cool projects he's working on. He has these different houses that he's fixing that they're problem houses. He's going in, he's testing them, he's fixing them. And yeah, that's
so you have like wet dreams about John, or what?
I mean, I'm
you
not.
Do you have like a post you can bring up to like reference, or a picture, or anything lined up?
I think, John, your biggest thing is your stories, your Facebook stories, right? You do that a lot.
Did you tell them about the DMs? Oh, man,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Adam does some crap, man. So
I'm telling you. What are these?
No,
DMs
guys.
again?
But yeah, I like sharing some stuff on posts. I'm working on getting them together because I like the interaction, kind of where you make a story out of it. And
right,
it's a long journey of people. What I put back here, breaking a lot of china, a bull in the china shop, that allowed me to look at these houses as a system instead of just the box.
Right.
How long have you been in business, John?
Well, Austin Star has been in business since 2007. So where we at, almost 14 years, almost there. And I've been doing it wrong for probably about maybe 12 of those years out of there. I say these last 3 years have been life-changing for me. I love the trade again,
Well,
now, why is that? Did you realize how much money you can make selling purple light bulbs?
Yeah, purple light bulbs are doing something else. No, you know what?
Consulting.
No, man. Just it came almost to a burden, because it was who's the cheapest and who wants the most work. And a lot of us deal with that, and it just comes into when you get in that swamp with home warranties, property management, cheap track home new construction, where they say it's track like 100 homes, but they got 2 homes a year, and they won those track home prizes.
Yeah,
and got kind of fed up, and then now I started learning a new way with new friends in the HVAC game that's saying, hey, you know what? I could get a budget a lot sooner, maybe within the first 3 sentences of this conversation, and it changed the game.
So it just kind of, it's like, starting over again in a weird way, right? But you're passionate about it now, right?
Yeah, I think always being a first generation HVAC guy and falling into business, I think a lot of technicians were like, I want to make much more money than boss is. Boss charging over there $250 for a capacitor. Oh, I could do it for 80, you know, and then all of a sudden now we're technicians becoming business owners. Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. We're flying by the seat of our pants. And then we ended up getting in a trap.
Yeah, I'd say most of the people, I get it a lot too. People reaching out to me. These trade schools, they groom these kids to think that they're going to start a business straight out of trade school, and they really have no idea what they're doing. And it's ironic too, because I'll get emails from people, like, hey, I started my business, but I don't know how much to charge. How much should I charge labor? How much should I charge? And it's like, you should have figured that out before you started your business, but I mean, of course, all of us go through these things. I mean, even I've been running my business for a long time, and there's still stuff I'm learning too, but it's scary how much, and that's what I tell people, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're making money, and you're actually hurting the industry when you're the cheapest person out there. You're hurting yourself and the industry, you're dragging it all down, and
you're lowering the quality.
Yeah.
across
One
the
of my
board.
breaking China moments is when I ran $1 million through these hands and walked away with $30,000.
That's not a good percentage.
No.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I got the privileges of owning a business. I got to go with dinners, maybe
So
buy clothes.
You're like
Wasn't
the real
making
HVAC millionaire,
money. All that liability for 30,000. That
Yeah.
made me rethink,
Damn.
like, what is going on here? You know,
What'd you do different that you didn't lose so much money?
man, I did a lot of stuff, man. You know, I think being small allows me to do the pivot, you know, and you know, coming out as you know, how I made I was in the Army, you know, and I got out and I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna do, be a cop, you know, and then my grandmother told me, like, hey, you need to talk to your cousin. He does AC. What do I want to do AC for, you know? And he goes, no, just talk to him. He makes a good living. See if it's interesting. So I called him up and he said, hey man, I got 2 things for you. Can you stand the heat? I'm like, yeah, man. I was in Bradley's, you know, like that ain't no problem. Can you handle stress? Man, in the Army, I had people just barking down on you all the time. It was testosterone. It was how tough can you be? Everything was like, hey, you know, I would say being macho, you know. I was like, yeah, I can handle that. And next thing I know, I was in Capital City Trade. It was people out of jail and people out of the military, you know. But I caught on real quick with tech work. And then I think just traveling down when I got on with like a national franchise national franchise HVAC company, I started learning the wrong way of doing HVAC, you know, and then it just started stumbling me down to leaving them and being a sub, learning how to use my tech skills to do new construction and maybe build up more subcontracting contracts. And pretty soon I was doing new construction. I was doing home warranties. I was doing retrofit. I was starting it up. So the company needed to bring a tech out. And we just built this kind of contracts with one of my first mentors, you know. And that's when everything went to kind of crap for a while because I'm a tech, wanted to own a business, you know. But I don't know. A lot does that feel like a kind of experience? I don't know how many people have businesses out there and kind of feel like a lot of us done the same thing, you know.
I had a business once and drove it right into the ground. Yep. Took a year bankrupt that thing, man. It was so difficult. Just like I've told Chris and Adam this many times. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, wearing all the hats, doing all the work, you know, and still finding time not only for family, still find time to continuously educate yourself on the newest trends in the industry, the changes that are coming up, just everything that goes along with just being a good tech. Then you have to also be a good, at least decent business person, a decent marketer, a decent secretary, decent, you know, whatever other hats you got to wear.
Yeah. I'm not successful. I wouldn't consider myself successful at business. We're winging it and we're getting by. I don't put the passion that I put into my videos. I don't put that into my business because I had to choose one or the other. Which one makes me happier? And it's like, well, I get more fulfillment and satisfaction out of my videos. So my business is surviving, but it's not thriving. You know, my videos are getting there. They're getting better and better. And it's like, I have fun with that, but there, you know, I'm a technically minded person. Clive said it in the chat right now. He said, technical people are rubbish at business. And that's true. I mean, you know, because you're trying to find that happy balance, you know, between, you know, I love to get techie about stuff, but then at the same time, when I get techie and I get focused on things, I forget about my employees. And then, you know, 10 years ago, I lost 3-4 employees at the same time because I was hyper focused and just, you know, focusing on everything else but them. So, you know, we all make mistakes.
It is, man. I think being a business owner small, you have to be 3 different people, which makes you a madman, you know, and it's in the book. I can't say it off the tip of my head, but I mean, off my tongue, but you're an entrepreneur who lives in the future. And then you're a technician. We live in the present. And I'm so used to being the present guy. But then we got to be the manager. He lives in the past. Now, when you're trying to be in the past, present, future, a lot of people like me, I got ADD, man. So I'm like thinking of a lot of things at one time and trying to hurry up to the end of the story, you know. But it helps me. But it's kind of crazy. You know, it makes it hard.
So
but yeah, man.
Hausch said, what about Elon? And he's talking about Elon Musk, and he calls BS on, you know, technical people not being able to run a business. But I would say that there's things about Elon. I mean,
yeah, I think Elon was smart enough to hire all the right people around him to run everything.
He has a lot of good people around him running his business. Again, I'm at that small level where I'm still obsessed with my customers' opinions of me. I still want perfection, and my customers still demand that I'm the person that's out there. So, you know, the worst thing that I hear, which happens about once a month, from a manager that I go to work with at a restaurant, and he says, man, I'm so glad it's you that's here and not one of your employees. And that fucking hurts when they say that.
You know,
it's like
one thing that I've found recently is you have to start developing processes. There's got to be like a path in order to get from point A to point B, and you have to share that with your guys. You know what I mean? You can't expect them to know something. You can't expect them to be hungry for knowledge. You got to give them a path in the right direction.
My struggle with that is that I have a goal, I have a path in my head, but my employees don't share that same path. So if you read in all the business books and all these different things, it says just get rid of them and find the right people. Well, go fuck yourself, because that's easier said than done. You know, I have to just deal with what I have and make it work. And basically for me, it just puts the stress on me, you know, to barely make it by and like pretend like I put on this happy face. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm fine, but man, running a business, like, it fucking sucks sometimes.
Two things I want to answer Michael's and yours, but one of my things saying going back to Sandler, and I'm gonna use a real world thing that I did a few weeks ago with my guys. I said, hey man, you know, a lot of times I want to ask y'all about y'all's goals and things, and we kind of slip on kind of those subjects of talking. Somehow I ask you like, hey man, how's it going? What's going on? What you want? And you're like, yeah. And then we start doing the job. The thing that I asked him, I'm like, man, we're going to, you know, talk about this. And somehow the stars lined up because his truck didn't start right. You know, and he goes, hey, I got to wait 30 minutes. And I'm like, all right. Well, I was like, man, what's your goals? Like, what do you want in life? And man, me and this guy have been together for 13 years. He's a sub. He works for multiple people, but I'm his ace. And he said, John, I retired a lot of people. Well, I haven't retired myself. And now that hit me right here, man, from my guy, my ace. I'm like, man, that sucks. You feel that way, man. You know,
what does he mean by retired a lot of people? What do you mean by that?
Like he worked for some other companies that were older gentlemen that he did a lot of good jobs for. Like he's doing good jobs for me.
Right.
But he's not feeling rewarded enough.
Got it.
But you got to understand, employees, they don't want all that responsibility, you know? Then it goes back to Michael House's thing. Technicians, I get you, man. Yeah, man, I'm a tech with you, Michael. But here it is. And I might be wrong because I'm not running a business the best I can, but I know what's up. The main thing is the entrepreneur, the guy that's getting the work, he's the guy to focus on. The tech, we need to be focusing maybe about 20% of him. Then the manager, the other 20%, who we can hire techs. The entrepreneur needs to get this train, keep on going, you know, and when I tell my guys, when I focus on my consultations, whether it's for Austin Star or whether it's for other people I team up with and represent the trade to say, hey, I'm just a third party guy running my consultations, it's very beneficial because I'm able to maneuver different ways if I don't get the HVAC contract. Now I got duct design. Now I got managing the foam guy to make sure, hey, the blower door number's right. Because foam can look pretty, but it can perform like crap. Yeah. You might as well left your original installation because it sucks. Your ductwork's outside the conditioned space. That's why you got your moisture problem. Maybe.
So going back to your ace guy there, if he's retired a lot of people, has he sort of swung that self-judging pendulum back around and said, you know what, how can I retire myself? Has he ever dipped his foot into the business world? Or better yet, if he doesn't really want all that responsibility, is he like, I don't know, making changes in the stock market, investing, 401ks? Is he like doing any sort of hustle to retire himself, or is he being a victim?
Victim. But honest, because I think a lot of people want it because they just see what you're making, the business owners making, and they don't really understand overhead.
No, and that's exactly it. Let's rephrase that. They don't see what you're making; they see what you're billing out.
Yeah, exactly.
They see what you're billing out, and they think that just because that job, for me, you know, I bill out a walk-in cooler job and it was 12, 13 grand. You know, I'm not walking away with 12, 13 grand. You know, I'm paying 5 people, I'm paying a crane, I'm paying for, you know, the equipment I'm doing. So, you know, you're walking away with a couple bucks, you know, but they don't see it that way.
Well, I brought it to him like this, and let me share this. We all seen our statements, and it comes out as a graph, right? It shows office supplies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, in the graph. The thing that I learned in this other class I attended, they said when you're talking to your guys and you want to make them hungry, show them what that graph is, and don't do percentages. Make it $100 bill. So they can say, hey, the advertisement costs, you know, $20 out of that. Every $100 bill, $20 went here. Yeah. The gas, the trucks, the salaries went here. The trucks, the lights, the wraps, this thing went here. And when they look at it and they saying, okay, that 230, you know, we only really made like $60 off it. The company, everything else was kept the wheels rolling, bro. You know, and that's why a lot of us are left with the same truck. And it's funny because builders, you know, which I love HVAC 2.0, they made me, I'll check a builder real quick. I love the term they said, I love straighten backbones up. What do you mean? And then I'll give you an example. Hey, John, I got this 1,200 square foot house. And can you please tell me how much this will cost? I want you to bid on it, man. And I got 100 homes for you, 20 homes, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Stuff costs like anywhere from $5,000 to like $90,000. $90,000 for an AC system. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it could.
It depends on how much you want to. I mean, if you want a legit AC system that is for a completely tight house, I mean, with everything, if you want to go full, I'm not going to say the word because I'll get in trouble, but I mean, you know, yeah, it can cost that much, or you can get away with that $6,000 install that, you know, Bob down the street's going to do.
One thing I want to go back to is you mentioned Sandler. Maybe some people watching don't know what Sandler is. Here's the thing. I'm going to preface this a little bit. Lately, we've been getting on people's cases, these sales guy and training people that are online, selling their services, coming out to companies, you know, charging 10, 50,
I love this subject.
$30,000, $100,000. We are like ripping these people apart online. That's what we're doing. So at that, tell us about Sandler and how Sandler came into your life. What's that all about?
Well, first off, I'll say this. I don't sell. I educate and I offer.
Yep.
My I would guess the client, I make them go through phases. They buy what they want to buy. So no matter what that price is, they know. They chose. I ain't selling nothing. Big change of what I did through my training with them that changed me, you know. But Sandler. So Sandler's won a lot of. I'm a break my china and say this is me. I had to prove to someone way back, whether it was y'all, the industry, the builder, the way I'm getting money, whatever it was, I had to get every certification I could out there. That was my goal. I have a shirt. I have I guess a Dickie shirt with all my patches on my back, and I used to wear it to a sales presentation to be like, pick me, I'm the best. You know, showing all that stuff, throwing all that candy, you know, giving all away that free information. That wasn't the way.
Like candy.
I know. I like cookies and candy, but I don't want to give it all away. I want to share it.
A little bit of booger sugar on there.
Now,
let me share that, you know.
Let me ask this real quick. So, you know, we have been picking on the salesmen. We've been picking on these companies that, you know, sell death to grandmas, and, you know, they basically go to sales training on how to tell people they're going to die and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you, again, as a small business owner, thinking about the complexities of a business, the difficulty in finding employees and different things like that, is it possible that these these sales companies, you know, that want to grow their businesses and want to be big businesses. Is it possible for them to do that with the 2.0 mindset, with the whole doing things 100% right? Like, do you think that they could hire people that can have that mindset? I mean, or do you think that the only way to grow and have a giant business is to have shitty technicians that don't know what the hell they're doing, that just sell death to grandmas? I mean, honestly, I'm flipping the tables here because I kind of feel like it's almost impossible to run a business in the way that you guys want to run it. You know, and
I think there's a let me cut in for a second. There's a misconception that, all right, every single customer that you work for 2.0, you're doing everything by the book and you're selling them the top of the top and you're making the most money possible. The thing is, one of the big principles is offer decline. Offer them the world. If they don't want it, if they want to buy shit for their house, sell them shit for their house. You know what I mean? Give them exactly what they want and what they're looking for.
And that's kind of the point that I'm making. And, you know, is that, like, I honestly don't think that there's enough technicians out there that genuinely want to do things the right way and like bust their asses to get it done and are eager to see those perfect fucking air leakage numbers and stuff. Like, honestly, most of the guys out there don't give a fuck. They really don't. They're just like, I just need a fucking paycheck, you know, and I want that paycheck to be big. So I love the idea.
You never put that hard work in to get that paycheck bigger.
But most important, it ain't about what all of us. It's the clients don't give a fuck. Right?
That's exactly true, because it's kind of like I joke with that whole phrase. I call it the Amazon effect. We're ruining ourselves by using Amazon because we demand cheaper. And then fucking Amazon's getting more expensive than everybody else, but it's convenient. You know, now that we loved that price and then we knocked everybody out, and then now it's convenient. It's like, okay, we'll pay a few bucks more. And, you know, the homeowners, you know, they don't want to pay that money. So.
Well, let's back up, man. So Adam said it's a misconception. Okay. Yeah. If you want me to be like everyone else, I had no problem with that.
Got it.
You know, but we're going to know what's going on. Am I going to be an amateur? Sometimes gets it right, but I don't know why and don't know when. Or would you like this other path? We call it our path B, where I'm a much more professional. But I'm not all the way there yet, because it's my first time at seeing your house. But I might know why I'm going to do something, and I might know when I'm going to do it. But it's a hell of a lot better than guessing, you know?
Yeah.
I love how Nate answers questions with more questions.
So I think the Sandler process to me and what it's done to me is I dropped Austin Starr. I dropped John Esquivel. I dropped all that. And I focused on the client to say, hey, why are you calling me? Okay, first off, like, you want ductwork? Okay, hold on. Why do you want ductwork? It's a strange question. I mean, do we just go to the doctor, just say, hey, doctor, can you just check my testicles? I got a bump here. I don't know.
I know I do. That's for sure.
You know, I mean, it's just something like we go because there's a pain. Yeah. You know, we don't just go just to go. You don't go just to some people do, but you don't go to the mechanic just because I don't know, I want to see what the dude's doing today. I just want to give him some money. You know, you're going because you got a problem. And most people call us because there's a problem in HVAC world. Whether it's on-demand cooling, on-demand heating, you know, a bar, a restaurant, whatever. But when people call about problems, I need to know. If you're calling about ductwork, why you want that? You got a problem? Yeah, they do. So our Sandler taught me to look for pain. Why? The other thing is ask questions. Why us? Why me? Why did you call me? I mean, it's hard to find me. Why did you call me? And I don't say it that direct. I'm saying, hey, thank you really for calling, but what made you call us? What made you select us? Now, if they say, oh, because your name is Austin and you're at A in the internet and you came up, that means you don't know nothing about me.
Right.
Zero. You just saw ductwork, which you think is going to fix your problem, in A. That doesn't mean I know you. So then I ask more questions. You know, why do you want ductwork? And then usually they're going to tell me a reason. And then I always come to our 4 questions. HVAC 2.0, we got 4 questions. You got hot rooms? No. You got cold rooms? Maybe. hold on. Sandler up. Maybe. What does maybe mean? Sandler helps us get rid of mystification. You know, how many of y'all where y'all got somebody that says, you know, hey, yeah, the room's kind of hot. And you're like, okay, kind of hot. All right, well, you know, and then you just move on. A lot of us do that where we're so focused on us because we were thinking of a variable speed or a 14 seer or even getting the job. We hear something that we think is what they want. Our tail starts wagging, you know, like, ooh, I could sell this. They said something about dirtiness. Oh, yeah, I could sell a media filter. Great. You know, and a lot of times we didn't hear what the problem was. Sandler helps us slow down and care about what the client's goals are. So we're not selling ductwork. We're selling what their pain is, and we're offering recommendations.
So is this, again, I know nothing about 2.0. Sorry, Joe, to cut you off. Is this like part of the 2.0 world? Is the Sandler stuff?
It's kind of, I guess, man, once you get it, and it's not for everyone, but once you get it, it's kind of a lifestyle, man. I'll even play this on my wife.
and you know what? I'm gonna jump in front of you. I'm gonna jump in front of you, Joe, and I'm gonna ask John a question real quick. Okay. I just fucking with Joe. I don't have nothing to ask.
No, you know what? Honestly, I was just gonna say I don't know who the fuck Sandler is.
Well, you guys, this is like I'm listening, right? Because I don't understand the Sandler thing. Like, I don't know what it is. I understand it. Okay.
Here, let Joe talk. Joe's the most skeptical person of them all. Let him go.
Because a lot of people are with me. They don't know who the fuck Sandler is. Their clients are not coming up to him and saying, "Oh, my ductwork. I need ductwork." Listen, we replace what is needed, right? Unless there's a like obvious reasons of too much moisture, oversizing. No insulation, which they don't want to fix. They don't want to spend the money on a finished house. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's spending that. We're just doing what the customer wants. And a lot of my customers, they don't give a fuck about their comfort, to be honest. They don't give a fuck. They want the cheapest fucking dollar that's decent, which is satisfactory.
And he's selling the cheapest shit that they want.
Yeah, I'm putting in just because my curiosity. Okay, you don't care about comfort. Well, you know what? I'm still gonna put a dual fuel heat pump in for it's just for my liking. But I'm not putting it because you're not comfortable. I'm putting it just because what you want to save money. You want to be whatever. You don't give a fuck about cost. Here. Then there's a disconnect. There's customers that all they care about is cost. So they don't give a fuck. We gotta say they don't care what ductwork, what spray foam, what. Blower door. They don't give a fuck. I want as cheap as
I like it. I feel you, man.
You don't. If you don't ask the customer, you don't know if they care or not.
I don't even.
I do care because they tell me all the time.
Man, that's the passion right there,
I'm speaking for a lot of people right now. And
but like,
that's my opinion.
But like, if customers didn't care, then there's rich people paying for this service, so obviously, like, people care about it.
No, I muted them.
They care, Bill. But
dude, man, you gotta see this.
Okay, fine. If you're a shoddy technician, you're obviously gonna put a single stage shit system, not care. But obviously, I'm gonna give them a satisfactory unit. Obviously, whatever it is they want or whatever I want. But they don't give a fuck about this, that, and all this thousands of money.
Maybe they don't give a fuck because
5-page report. They just want a fucking system that's a decent price. Period. That's it.
Let's back it up, man.
You can back that up.
All right, let me answer.
That's some good stuff. I love the passion. I felt like that too.
Go ahead.
You know, because it is a lot of things go down the price. Now it depends on if you want that client. So I'll tell you, my phone rings. YS is gonna be my first one. You know, I'm gonna ask my questions and I'm gonna make them rank it. And then I'm gonna tell them this. Hey, you want the ductwork? Okay.
You
called it because you had
ductwork though. Who the fuck asked for that? Honestly.
Well, you could play with anything. Insulation, ductwork, design. Okay.
My clients would ask for insulation either. Maybe sometimes, sure. Okay, fine. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Let's say an AC system. Let's play it real. Retrofit. Dude calls you up. I got a 3-ton. I want the cheapest price. He ain't gonna tell you that at first. He's gonna try to steal your candy. He's gonna try to get you to go over there, walk the job, tell him how it is. Then you're gonna do your song and dance. You might throw some certifications, and then he's gonna say, "Man, I'll get back to you." Well, and then you're there waiting on Monday, like, man, I gave him $500 when I left, I said, hey man, if you get it real soon, I'll throw off another 5. And then I got rebates and all this other candy you're gonna throw of YU features and benefits. You know, my process would be a lot quicker than that. I'm gonna say, okay, you know why? And if they say the main thing that let me slow it down.
You need to differentiate from the guy who's like, you know what? I want the full workup. I want to know every aspect of my house versus the guy who's like, let me tell you, like, I don't know what's going on in my furnace. It just don't work.
Bring the pain.
I mean, you gotta know your audience.
I'll ask him, Ted. I'll ask him if they're really looking for that, but most of them don't. If there is an absolute reason, like maybe a part of the house is getting too much humidity, maybe one part of the house is too hot or too cold, then of course you're gonna do the necessary steps. And sometimes you tell them the steps eventually, or whatever you want to tell them, like you're saying, I don't know.
But you telling them those
steps
is educating them,
and they don't want to spend that money. You don't want to spend the money.
Let me jump in here, responsibility. When a lot of people call and complain, you know, well, in the classes I'm at, where a lot of contractors saying, hey, I put in this 14-SEER unit, I went back with a 16-year unit single stage, and I threw in an Ecobee or a Nest, and now they're complaining of humidity problems. But it all went back to price. So going back to what I was saying, if they have any issues, I'm going to let them know, hey, I got path A. Path A, we will give you like for like.
Sure.
You know, but as you mentioned, you had no problems. Are you going to be okay to buy a brand new system? It still provides the same comfort, but newer. Are you going to be okay with this? Now, if they say yes, sell that cheap ass shit. Do it. You know, they don't want nothing. They don't care. Get it in there. That's,
of course,
you know. But if what are most of them going to say? You know what? Sally's room is hot. And then I always stop them. I said, well, Path A doesn't provide that. You know, that's a guesstimate at the best industry practices. Okay. But it's like throwing shit on the wall and hoping it sticks. We're going to do our best. We're going to hope. But what if HVAC wasn't even the problem? You could have put in a 20-SEER variable capacity, a DU.
And the problem still be there.
But the house leaked like shit.
Of course. I agree.
You wouldn't have known. And guess who owns it? Guess
you,
who owns
of course.
It?
Of course.
And let me tell you something. This happened to me multiple times. People call in and they say, I want to preemptively replace my equipment in my house. Right. And you're like, oh, these guys are being smart. They're doing it before it breaks. That's cool. They change it because they have a problem. And they don't tell you they have a problem. You put in like for like equipment, and then they call you after you install it, and they say, hey, this area of the house is not heating or not cooling. What's going on with this? And they assumed by changing the equipment, it was going to change their problem or fix their problem.
I agree. You have to do your homework, of course, a little bit. And you have to have a little
what do they say?
smarts in the head. You don't got to do a 10-page report. That's all I'm saying.
No. What do they say? I want an energy efficient unit. And you're asking, well, what does that mean? Do a lot of people really care about energy? They think it's comfort. They just don't know how to say it. And of course they're gonna lie to us. That's the job. That's the school. They hide everything. They don't tell them about Sally's room. Don't say nothing. You know, and they're gonna.
They're just hoping that it's fixed. You know, they're hoping that you're gonna fix it in your process.
Yeah,
but
you're a professional, right?
Yeah, and I can relate this to my side too, because you know, I joke about this whole big picture diagnoses thing that I'm always preaching, but in reality, the whole big picture diagnoses thing that I'm always telling, you know, saying in my videos and stuff is genuinely because I'm sick of fucking people bitching at me after I quote a job and they approve it and they want cheap ass shit. So I go change a refrigeration system for a restaurant. I do whatever. And I know that, you know what, this isn't right. Right. But we put in this new high efficiency bullshit and it's great. But then it starts to really accentuate the problems. And then the shit comes out, you know, and it's like, well, I was sick of getting burned by all that stuff. And the customers coming back and saying, well, you just replaced the whole system and it still doesn't work. Well, because I put in what you wanted me to put in, you know, so I got done with that. And I started going in there saying, look, this is what needs to be done for it to work right, for it to do what it's supposed to do. Yes, this is expensive. If you don't want to do this, here's another option. We can go like for like, but the repercussions are going to be amplified with this newer high efficiency system. And I'm talking refrigeration, but it passes over to the other side too.
Like same thing.
2.0 is really just big picture for residential.
It is. And 2.0, you guys, you know what? I'm going to trademark go after you guys for your bullshit. Okay, you're stealing my idea. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, but it's really
it's the same thing. I'm sick of getting burned, and so I'm gonna go in there and give them a big picture diagnosis and a big picture quote. And if they don't take the big picture quote, that's fine. I'll still quote the bullshit.
The thing is, here's the thing, Chris. The industry standard for residential is everyone's giving free quotes. Every quote is a free quote. And the thing is, like, if everyone's giving free quotes and 90% of systems are oversized for houses and you have static pressure and everything else, how do you know that you're going to have a good working system when you're done? If you're given a free quote, you don't.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
because unless it's a apparent reason, Adam, unless it's an obvious reason why they're calling you, and I know you gotta obviously do due diligence. I can't even speak that word. I'm so hyped up. And ask them a little bit, and be a good tech. They just want to say they just want.
But the thing is, it's not about techs, because the techs aren't out there quoting jobs for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, you're not. This is not about trying to sell somebody anything. It's like, hey, are you happy with your system right now? I'll give you the exact same system you have right now. Are you not happy with it? I'm going to give you another path. Other people are not offering you manual J, duct design, blower door test. I could figure out your shit if you want me to figure it. You want to pay me to figure it out? You can pay me to figure it out.
It's not like that. What I normally tell them is like, hey, we got this way, like you said in the beginning, but the other way allows us to understand what your goals are. Like, what are you trying to achieve with this? The next thing I'm going to ask them is, what does your house need? This process that you pay $400 to $600 for, sometimes more, but I am going to check your duct work. How fast is that, man? How fast?
Let me address this. Ted Kid, shut the fuck up. Easy as that, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Get out of here.
Well, check this out, man. I'm gonna test your duct work, and we're gonna do a static pressure test. Okay, we're gonna hit it up. Boom. That's gonna let me know. Do you got crap? That's going to really let us know where we're at, what we're facing, no matter what. Right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if your house communicates to the outside. Is it like an open Yeti and you're wondering why you can't hold ice? And you're going back to Yeti and saying, man, your ice chest sucks. No, man, close your ice chest, fool. The next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a manual J, but it's going to be a basic block load manual J. I'm not walking every single room. Now I'm able to grab energy usage, which going on a different level of things with loads, that's going to really make me a tight load. I know if the cool cow comes out, EDS, energy design system comes out and it tells me 3 tons and I put in your energy usage, it says 2.5. That's going to give me heads up. It's going to allow me to alert the homeowner something's weird. What's going on? That allows me to be as giving information to let them know, hey, I'm not giving you the expert thing right now, this 5-page report. I'm giving you a list of recommendations that can give you odds of success on fixing Sally's room. Okay. Then I give recommendations, and guess what? I'm out. I got paid for my time. What if they were a cheap person, but they just want to know what's going on? What if they wanted to know that Sally's room's so bad that it costs for them just buy a new home? That's a client that you would have went in, sold the cheapest unit. They would have ended up with the same problem, which leads to bad reviews, which leads to you fumbling. Because if you're like me, I don't want a bad review. I'm going to go over there and be like, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's lower the blower speed. Okay, I lowered the blower speed. I made the ducts too cold. And now the ducts are sweating. Oh, no. And then you do all these other things. I don't do that no more. I responsibly avoid responsibility by offering, educating. You want Path A, the free quote? I'll do it like everyone else. It's okay. And that goes down.
And I think that's the right. I agree with you on that. Like, I have no problem with giving, like, I call it big picture, but I mean, same thing. You're covering your ass. And I can clearly tell that you're passionate about what you are doing too. And it's the same thing over here. Like, I love doing things the right way. And of course, sometimes we got to do it the way the customer wants it. We're not happy about it, but we're going to document the fuck out of it. And we're going to make sure that when it doesn't work, we have I told you so. Here it is, and you don't want this. Okay, then fine. So be it.
It's good. They own it. They put their big boy pants on. You know what? A lot of people make stupid ass decisions based on price. And you know what? Let's get that out in the phone call when you call me as a suspect. Let me get that out on the first 3 sentences. And with my process, as I've been growing with HVAC 2.0, builders call me with budgets up front. So I already know what's going on. How would that feel? Guy calls you up, said, hey man, I got, $10,000 on this 3-ton. I'm gonna look and I'm like, dude, that's like 22% margin. I end up losing $1,000 off of that. Nah, man, I'm good. Would you like me to do the design? Nah, I don't want you. Okay, cool. You weren't my customer. Later, suspect. Next thing I go is like, if they do got something that's there, now you're a prospect. Hey, great. Let me bet you outright. Because I don't want to go over there and spend an hour, 2 hours, do a free load calculation when I used to do this stuff for free to spill candy, giving them stuff. Pick me. I give you free stuff. I used to give them, hey, I'll give you a blower door. I'll give you this. And before, I didn't even know what I was giving a blower door for because it was just what you do in a rebate program.
Yeah, you were just following the process and running the numbers and not understanding everything from it.
Check a box.
Yeah.
You got a rebate.
And unfortunately, here in SoCal, we have a lot of bullshit government regulations and why I say bullshit, I appreciate what they're trying to do with these regulations. They have tightness tests and they have, third party auditors come in and make sure that your system's installed right now, all this stuff. Like, I appreciate what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure that things are installed the way they're supposed to do. But unfortunately, those people that are auditing those jobs, they're just checking boxes. They truly, not all of them. There's some that do know what they're doing, but a lot of them, they don't know what the fuck they're doing and they check shit. No. And unfortunately, again, I know there's some people that do care, but when they started passing all these things in SoCal, what we have, or California, we have something called Title 24. Title 24 is a bunch of freaking regulations and stuff you have to follow, and it's nuts. But basically when they first came out with those, nobody knew how to enforce it and nobody knew how to keep up with the regulations. So there was a whole new business boom of, I can be a third party auditor and I'm going to make a bunch of money. But then they go in there and they're like, everybody's failing these tests. Nobody could pass what they were supposed to pass. So they just started fucking checking boxes because if they didn't, nobody would pass anything. And it's sad because they literally are checking boxes and it sucks. And I appreciate what they're trying to do with those regulations, but it's unfortunate because, people aren't really understanding, and I appreciate the whole, and we keep saying 2.0, right? 2.0 is just one way of going about this. It's just the concept of doing things right. Is right, really what it is.
Right. You could do things right without a platform. That's
but there's nothing wrong with the platform. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the platform. I'm not agreeing with you on that. I mean, I'm saying that, the platform is still a good thing because it gives people a model, that
Absolutely.
don't otherwise know how to go down this path. And I think that's great. I think that is great. And I like the mindset that's coming from that. More contractors are wanting to jump onto that. But back to what I was talking about a while ago, I still fear that mindset, even my big picture mindset, we can't go global with that. I'm trying. Of course, I make videos and I'm trying to inspire people to look at the big picture. But there's not enough techs that truly care. And we need more techs,
man. Because you could be like everyone else. It's just the thing that when I'm being like everyone else, I don't know responsibility.
Yeah,
that's a much better world to live in. And it is a 5-page report. You got to type in stuff. I get it. And some people don't have time for that. Some people don't have time to do a manual J. Some people are like,
I didn't say nothing but load counts. I know a lot of techs, including myself, that do load counts. It's everything else extra. That's all.
But why do a load count? Just give them what they want.
No, I didn't say that. I never said that. I never said give them what they want.
I know. I said that. It was a question.
Well, you don't have to do the blower door. You don't have to do what everyone, but you can. And
I'm sorry. You finished talking, John.
Okay, you're talking about
you care about customer too, Timothy. You care about customer all kinds of ways.
I think the biggest thing for me would help me is to responsibly avoid responsibility. That is what killed it. And I applied this process to new construction, auditing, to duct work, to retrofit, not the service calls, but this allows me to move where I want to move, which is less work and much more profitable jobs. Or if I am to that investor client that they are selling that house and they do want that oversized unit, you know what? You buying that shit online because I ain't put my license on it. Are you cool with that? Because it's priced, right?
Of course.
Yeah, they own it. They own that stuff because of their piss poor decisions of buying an oversized unit with ductwork after I educated them. You know, my reports, they saved my ass not once, twice, a lot of times.
I feel like you're trying to sell me ductwork.
No, I just use that because
no, we got you, man.
You know, I'll switch it up. You know, if someone busts out saying a Remy, I want a Remy. You know, we bust out. Why you want a Remy? You know.
I think the platform's good if someone is already committed to fixing a apparent problem they're having for many years, whatever. Sure, of course, you're gonna have all the documents in order. But I don't know.
What House is saying is very true, though.
You don't ask the right questions. Yeah, you don't get their pain levels, and you don't scale them. Sally's room, is it really uncomfortable? Yeah. Well, how long have you lived with that problem, Sandler? I lived with it for 10 years. In my head, you know what I'm thinking? This lady lived with it for 10 years. I'll recommend her a box fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm going to mention it. I'm going to give her the opportunity to say no, you know. But if I don't say none because my mind's in her wallet because I want to do cheap, that opportunity's gone. And guess what? I got left holding the comfort bag because I sold a 2-stage. You know, this does better humidity. You know, it's a better, more energy efficient unit. Guess what? I held with it because I threw in that Ecobee. It's 68%. Oh, I thought this 2-stage does better humidity control. Where are we at? Well, ma'am, you remember when you didn't accept the path B where we did the blower door see the house?
Listen, bitch. You remember when you fucked up this estimate?
I think any tech has to ask a couple questions about the past unit before they install a new unit or do a load count or whatever they want to do. That's
part of like the customer interview process.
2.0 is not for everyone, period. Like there's a lot of people that have there's no desire for them to do it, and there's people that even if they have a desire, they're not qualified to do it, and they're not smart enough to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's a key. But I want to go back to the question I asked, or I was kind of alluding to. I want to hear what all of you guys think. Do you think it's possible to scale a business with the big picture mindset, with the 2.0 mindset, and grow it to 10, 15, 30 technicians? Do you think that's actually possible, though?
Well,
I think it's a mindset, man.
It's a mindset, yes.
It's a mindset. So no matter what, I'm going to give you an example. If you have the mindset of playing Sandler, which we got Sandler games, where you ask a question in the office and, you know, like, hey, is that printer working today? And you can do stupid stuff. This is training. Hey, that's a good question. Why you ask that? Because a lot of times we live in a world of mystification, and the homeowners be asking us things where they're doing a maintenance, cleaning the capacitor. And he's like, hey, man, is it weird that my light's kind of short out?
I forgot Chris's question now.
You know, and it's a way of he's going. Chris's question was, how are you going to scale HVAC 2.0?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Well, and even the same thing, like my whole thing, the big picture mindset. I don't see it possible to scale that. Like you have to stay small.
Well, no, back up, because you're there. Your technician's on the job site. A guy's asking a question about light shortening, which has high amp draw, probably in lock rotor amps. Which, guess what? If you play those cards right in the scenario, if you got a selling tech, he's going to be selling a unit. So no matter what, a lot of times when we see that big fish, you're like, ooh, man, that's an opportunity to sell. Slow down. It's not. It's a thing to ask a question.
Yeah.
Why did you ask that?
Like, I know in the commercial world, it's we're in a position where we're searching for customers, and we're searching for customers right now that really accept what Chris considers that big picture diagnosis. So it's not really the same thing, but I kind of look at it as the same thing, where I'm looking for customers that when I go into walk-in cooler and I come out with a list of like, man, this is all the stuff you got wrong. I mean, if I'm doing compressor, I'm doing contact, I'm doing this and this and this. I'm like, well, I only got like I only got like $500. Like, well, I can do a compressor. That's it. You're getting the same dryer contact. Like, I don't want that customer. But
well, no, like the mindset is, first off, do they even have a problem? I've been to a maintenance where the blower
their
wheel
food's
is dirty. They got rat piss in the attic. It's got like a 13-degree split, and they're holding on. And I'm like, they need $1,000 worth of work in the maintenance, and they're like, nope, we're just gonna hold on to the maintenance agreement. It ain't a problem. You can't with the mindset HVAC 2.0, we're looking for problems. You know, if you don't got a problem, I'm gonna sell you like for like. If you know, I educated you, this is exactly the same unit, just brand new. It's shiny.
So let me clarify with the viewers and stuff. If you guys don't get what I'm going at, I appreciate the 2.0 mindset. Yeah. I appreciate the big picture mindset. Obviously, I live that and I run that in my business, but I just know that I struggle finding employees that want to do what I want to do and that want to go the extra mile, that are genuinely eager to make sure that these problems are fixed.
One of the cool things about it is you learn how to take very small steps, baby steps. It's not like you're like, so I'm part of several different Facebook groups, and there's some freaking eggheads in there, right? Some of them are watching right now. There's guys that are brilliant as far as building performance goes.
Yeah.
And they know shit that I'll probably never learn in my entire life. Like the amount of knowledge they have is incredible. But you learn baby steps, and the little things that you learn can make a difference in improving a house, right?
Yeah. So solar screens can change a house if there's a problem in Sally's room. If their budget only allows that.
Sally's parents gotta have some money to pay for all this.
Because understanding, but let's be fair though too. I'd go out on a limb and say 90% of the residential companies in the United States do not truly know how to run a full load calculation and analyze a load calculation and pay, and not just look at, just a box load, like look at the orientation of the house, look at the heat infiltration from the sun, from all this stuff.
90%. Wow.
I would say 90%.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I would agree with it. You don't have to be licensed to open up an HVAC business here.
Not here.
That's true.
In Texas, you got to. But a lot of people size the house 5 different ways. Yeah. They walk up to the unit and say, hey, you got a 3-ton. Let me give you a 3-ton.
Yeah.
The other way, they're like, hey, 600 square feet per ton. And you know where that kind of came from? If you go online and search square footage, it mostly comes from rebate programs. Right. Telling them if you're at this square footage, we'll give you a rebate.
Right.
The next way, people are doing block loads. All right, dude, jump on EDS, pay $200 a year, and then push in the address and zip, you got a load. Okay. There's a lot of these people don't have to have excuses to do it. Everybody's doing it. But now, once you start incorporating that blower door,
right,
you feel that's a tool. To me, I'm an HVAC dude all the way. It's important to me as my voltmeter, as my gauges, man.
And that makes sense.
You know where to go.
You're looking at the house as an entire system.
Yeah, but not enough people even understand what a blower door is.
That's true.
Genuinely. They do not understand. They don't know what it is, and it's too expensive. And that's the key thing. For most contractors out there, a blower door is way too expensive, when in reality, it's not, because it's a tool that will perfect the way that you do things. It quantifies everything, but they see that number. I can't pay $9,000 for this, or $7,000, or whatever the hell it is, insert number. That's too much for me, because they're not.
They don't see the value of it.
No, they don't see the value.
No.
The thing
when you look at the science of it and you understand, holy fuck, that thing changes everything.
When I bought my blower door, I dive right into anything I do. When I'm interested in something, I think it's gonna benefit me, I dive right in. When I bought it, I'm like, this thing is cool. I hooked it up to my house, and then I started sweating. I'm like, am I gonna make money off this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a freaking expensive toy. I have a lot of cool tools. Some of them I don't use. But I made a lot of money with that blower door.
Yeah.
It makes invisible things visible.
Right.
And then it lets you know where to start sniffing to get on the blood trail of pain. And it goes hand in hand, man. And again, it's not for everyone, but I mean, I get giggity about you know, my NAVAC flare tool, because I was worried about my guys using a block flare tool on 20 flares. And I'm over here worrying as an owner, like, man, I wasn't there on like 5 of the flares. Did they do it? I wasn't there on 20 of the flares.
Yeah.
How many of us are not even there?
I feel that. I feel that all the time, dude. When my guys are out there and I'm like, fuck, all right, tell me how you did that. And then when he doesn't answer, you're like, or he doesn't give you the answer you want to hear. He's like, well, how did you diagnose that? Well, this and that. And I'm like sitting there thinking, fuck.
It's whatever you want to hear, boss.
I got to go out there now and freaking, you know, go through it. And then like, oh, fuck, you know, that's my struggle as a small business owner, is because I'm a freaking perfectionist. I'm a control freak. I just want to make sure that I am so hyper focused on my customers' opinions of me, probably too much, because I know, again, so many people are successful that don't give a fuck, you know, but I'm just like, no, because I'm going to do it this way and it works. And it's a struggle. And that's where I have such a hard time scaling even my idea with my whole big picture mindset. And the same thing with the, you know, looking at the big picture with the, you know, or using the 2.0 mindset or whatever you want to call it. It's just, I just don't see that being scalable, while I still appreciate it. And I'm still going to run my business until I die that way. I just don't see it exploding.
The thing is, like, they're like, being a tech, I was never a business owner. I suck at business. Being a tech, I like techie things. I like numbers. I like being able to validate something. The blower door helped with that. And one of the things that I hate worse than anything was selling, dude. I hate selling. And 2.0 gave you a way to basically sell good jobs without selling. You're not a salesman. You're not like, let me do this trick. I'm going to lie to you. Remember when we were talking about this? One of the guys on the internet was like, fake call to the office. Oh, hey, we got one opening tomorrow, right? Yeah, let's this is not how it goes. There's nothing like that.
I was gonna say, Adam, you mentioned that the blower door gave you a lot of money. When how much, like, from the blower door, what did that gain you? I just want to know what did that gain you?
One of the things,
because before you go on, because just a load count, let's say, or usage checks. There's so many usage checks. Even the government has usage checks. You could put them in. That alone is already better than what they already had. Right. So tell me how the blower door maybe fine-tune that. Or did you get to insulate a whole house? I don't get it.
I have not been able to insulate a whole house. No. Okay. But like what you're able to do is you could pinpoint problems 100%. And by doing a comfort consult, like John said earlier, you slow down the process, right? And you're able to actually look at the entire house, the entire duct system, everything, and do a proper diagnosis or an assessment. You might not go full-blown home performance on them, but it gives you time to figure out what's going on and if there's issues, right?
It lets you know your risk, man. What if you went in there and the lady's complaining about dust, and you're like, man, I'm gonna put in this super filtration 2000. It could, you know, there's filtration out there you can measure down to the particle. I think it's a Switzerland company, HVACR, I believe. But if you didn't check with the blower door, your house could be leaky. Now, a lot of us can think the house is tight because we saw things sealed, and it might not be tight. It might be loose. And we might go to an old 1970 house, 1950s house. We're like, yeah, man, this is loose. You know, on the manual J, I'm going to put loose, not average. And then it can end up being tight. And then you go in there thinking in your head, you're going to do this with tonnage of experience. You can mess up a whole lot of stuff and not actually achieve what Miss Sally wanted. Miss Sally just wanted to get rid of the dust. She didn't care about energy. She didn't care about fixing that room. She didn't care about this. She just cared about the dust. And you might have thought, or we might have thought we did the best thing ever because we put in this unit, this Linux, this carrier, this whatever you're selling. But actually, Sally didn't want that. And then you end up looking bad because you didn't know what was going on.
It didn't solve the problem. It didn't.
Yeah, but Sally didn't want it. Hey, in HVAC 2.0, you don't want it. Okay, Sally, you cool with the system working the way it always has, just shiny? Sally says yes. Great. Write it down, document like we do. But you got it there. You offered. You educated. If they own it, they own it, you know? And I think that's like the biggest thing with HVAC 2.0 making it scalable is taking the text. Hey, you're at maintenance and someone starts talking about a unit. Your first thing is to say, well, why did you bring that up? Why are you asking about that? Because my job here is to do maintenance. I'm not going to start going into selling. I'm going to send out John, or I'm going to ask you the 4 questions. You got hot rooms, cold rooms, humidity issues, health concerns.
Right.
And I'm going to make you scale them. And I'm going to send that to John. And John's going to come out and assess it, or he's going to call you and say, hey, Miss Sally, we understand you had this and you scale this. Is this really a pain? What have you done about it? Nothing. How long you live with it? 10 years. Okay. Well, is this something that if we install you a new unit and you end up with it, are you going to be okay? No, it ain't. Well, it's a risk.
Yeah.
Path A, you might end up with that.
Sure.
Path B allows me to test a house because it might not be an AC problem.
And I'd say really, I mean, it's essentially root cause analysis is really what it is. I mean, you're trying to figure out what their complaints are. And it's also fair to say that sometimes the customers don't even know what their complaints are. So without being a shady salesman, you have to get to the bottom. So you start analyzing, I would imagine, right? You go in there and you say, what are your complaints? You ask questions, and that's going to lead you to something. Well, the customer just casually says, yeah, and it's always cold here. Okay. Wait. Let's step back there. Let's look at that. I do the same thing on my side. When I have a customer complaining about something, okay, why are you complaining about this? What led you to this call? And then you're just getting to the root of it.
The cool thing is you could actually see the problem. Let me give you, I know we got to get going, but here's a quick example. I did a comfort consult a couple weeks ago, and the guy was very busy and he didn't have a lot of time on his schedule to set something up with me. He couldn't dedicate the time for me to be there. He wants to change the system. His house is screwed up. I was super busy. So I ended up sending him a remote comfort consult survey where he answers the questions, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't answer the questions until after I was at his house. When I went through the comfort consult, I was doing zonal testing to see what rooms and areas of his house were connected to outside. And I found his basement was massively connected to outdoors, and the 2 front bedrooms were connected to outdoors. When I got his survey back, I said, is there any parts of your house that are uncomfortable? He's like, my basement is awful and the 2 front bedrooms suck.
Yeah.
Like, well, awesome. I just validated exactly what your problems were. You know what I mean? And that's not an HVAC issue. That's a house issue.
So your new HVAC, and you end up with the same problem. You're going to be okay with that. Watch how many of them say no. And then you offer something $400 to $600. A lot of people say, yeah, dude, you know what? Sometimes to them, it's a lot cheaper to know if the project's even worth it or if they're going to be able to get it done in their budget.
The only reason I did it is because I got a discount from my good buddy Nate.
Now, I think Ted Dickerson was saying without blower door, I don't know, somebody said it's useless, either a usage check or a load count. And somebody said plus or minus 70% for without a blower door and a load count.
So I'll tell you this, because we talked about this. I'm going to be real with y'all. If you just, and depending on your region, okay, in heat, it will change plus or minus a big percentage. But here's where I caught it. So let's say you have a foam house, and this happened to me. This is with duct sweating, okay? Yeah. You have the blower door, and they pass code, 5 air changes per hour in climate zone 2. And, I went to the property, like, yeah, we passed code. We had the blower. Well, the load change, when I did it with changing the infiltration on the blower door, it didn't change much. Okay. But I had to think outside the box. It just put that ductwork outside the conditioned space. And if you have ductwork in a load calculation outside the conditioned space, it's going to sway from 3,000 to 9,000 depending on your tonnage. Now, the manual J's, the software we're using, saying it's a perfect world scenario. That never happened. That's why we have to test it. So yeah, when I added the duct losses with the infiltration, I had plus or minus 46% on this. But when I just did infiltration alone and just picked on that, it might have said 10%. But you got to think of everything it messes with. You can have this bedroom needing 100 CFMs, but if your infiltration messed up that room and it's going negative and pulling outside air, it might be 120. And you don't know this stuff because you just don't know until it happens, you know? So blower door, yeah, people might say it is, but to me, HVAC, it's brought me another source of income. Consultations, another source of income. And it allowed me to pick my jobs. You know,
And I think that's great.
You know, and I think that's one way that's cool. My guys, my maintenance guys, they're not put in a situation where we used to be like, oh man, they want a unit, cheapest price, let's do it in $6,000. Let's get it right now. We slow down. Hey, you got problems. Why are you even asking about a unit before it even went out? You know, do you want to know about your house so we can make a plan? So when it does go out, are you going to call us and say, John, I need an AC. It's 98 degrees outside. I need you today. Uh-oh. Like, do you want to do a manual check? Nah, man, I don't want to do the blower door. I don't want to do nothing. I don't care. I just want it cold. And then they buy it from you and they're like, hey, the old system worked better than this one.
Yeah.
You know? And then you're stuck there like, well, then you're going to just say whatever you want. If you were able to tell them up front their risk and let them choose their shitty decisions on price, well, you know what, man? You remember we picked this job on price? I offered you this other way, but it wasn't important. Would you like to test your house now?
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
And you know what they do?
Options are the most important. I agree 100%.
So I want to close this out. Obviously, John, we need to have you on again because I'm having a great time talking, and this is a great conversation.
Joe's thrilled.
But we need
some
to.
more,
I want to answer.
I need
I'm
to
on third or fourth, and I'm having a blast. No, but I want to answer Susie's question. I think Susie had a great question. It's going to change up the whole concept of what we're talking about. But Susie Dunn asked, and I'd like to hear everybody's response. How do you avoid burnout? Now, I'm going to tell you my response, okay? And we kind of talked a little bit about this before the stream with John, I think a little bit. The way that I avoided burnout, because I was getting burnout. I've been doing this for
We're talking a compressor burnout or business burnout?
No, business burnout. Okay. In general. No, a technician, just in the industry. How do you avoid burnout? So my opinion, what works for me, it's going to change for everybody, I think. But what works for me is I had to do something different. Now, while I still invest myself in the business and pay attention, I started my little side thing, right? I started making videos for my technicians. It turned into something. And that's how I avoided burnout. Was I enjoy making videos. I enjoy doing something. So I really think it's find anything within the industry that you can invest yourself in. And you know, even if it's not something you're going to be able to work on today, you know, start researching other things, like find something you're interested in. That would be my thing that I want to say, but I'd like to hear what you think, John. Like, how do you avoid burnout?
It's going to come. It's going to come no matter what. I think we all get it. And a lot of people, different trades, especially if you're dabbling in something like, you know, so long in home warranties or so long in new construction. It just seems like it's the same old thing every day.
It's repetitive. It's just tedious.
A lot of the things I found out was a better way to not sell, but just kind of educate and get myself involved in things that challenge me. You know, I think a lot of this process was kind of failing, you know, and it was kind of scary for people to fail, you know, but it makes you challenge yourself to try again, because you can fail 100 times, but that one time you get it right, you just learn. And when you learn from it, you get powered. And then a lot of times too, is when you start getting this power and thinking like you're growing, sometimes you got to get kicked off your mountain.
Yeah.
You got to fall back down, scrape your knees, do things, because there's people always going to be smarter than us. We know, we think we're growing. Even though I like how you put I was a master on it, but I still feel I'm a student. I'm always going to feel a student for life because there's constant learning, and that drives me. And when somebody pays, I know people are saying ridiculous, you know, when I'm charging my prices, and then I got some cheap ones too, but when they come and hug you, when they carry your tools to the truck, or when they said, man, you know, I used to not be able to sleep in the same bed as my wife because I was sweating. And they actually come to you and they paid a lot of money. And we're like, damn, they paid that much money. But they're just so happy of what they did with stuff that's invisible.
So the takeaway for me with your biggest thing is satisfaction. It's the change of the mindset and the satisfaction you get from it.
Mm-hmm.
What
or
about
the excitement of dodging a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what? I told this dude about this foam guy. I told him he should have done his blower door rough. And then you go and the ducts are sweating and you're like, you know, it kind of sweating there a minute. And you're like, man, I'm going to run this blower door. It's supposed to be around 2 ACH or 30% of the square footage, you know, 0.3 LAR for the smart guys out there, LAIR. But I always say the blower door on foam houses should be anywhere from 20 to 40% of the square footage, you know, to the blower door number. So if it's 1,000 square foot home, it should be 3, you know, to 200 to 400 CFMs. It's a tight house. So when I find it like 5 ACH or 1-to-1, it's 1,000 square foot and 1,000 blower door. I'm like, yeah, this ain't HVAC, buddy.
Yeah,
I did my job, you know.
So Adam, have you experienced burnout?
I do.
I know I have
nonstop.
Yeah.
I think
what is your?
I don't know. I mean,
have you figured it out yet?
Last year, I was completely burnt out. You know, that I started changing my life last year. I think last year I was burnt out. I was going through, you know, this whole COVID thing. I was going through like a mini depression.
Right.
I was arguing with my wife. I was struggling with my business. There's a lot of things down. It was just like, I felt like I was roadblock after roadblock. And I just started changing things. I quit drinking. I started trying to be more mindful of who I am to different people and how I act. And it helps, you know what I mean? And just try to focus on family and make things that are important to you actually important to you, you know,
instead of so not so much focusing, like hyper focused on the business, but trying to pay attention to your family. And
my family is very important to me. And there's times like I miss 2.0 has bi-weekly meetings. I miss them all the time because there's a lot of times there's something going on with the family, you know what I mean? I am for a long time, HVAC was the most important thing to me. I'm doing work on the couch, on my computer. I'm at the office. I'm in the garage. I'm researching stuff. I'm watching videos. I'm writing estimates. But like, my kids are growing up. You know, you gotta dedicate time to your family too. So yeah, I mean, I love this trade. It does stress me the hell out. But like, even when I'm taking a break, like tonight, this is my fun, right? HVAC Overtime, something I enjoy doing. This is my release right now, even though we're talking HVAC on my freaking time off, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, man, the money's changed too. You know, me able doing the jobs I want to do, that helped a lot with burnout, man. Burnout comes from doing the same thing you're kind of doing all the time. Now I'm able to select the jobs that I want to do, you know. I put the link to the free.
I just shared that right now.
If some people want to try, feel to reach out. You know, it's not for everyone. And I tell my clients just the same way. I'm like, hey, Path B takes time. I gotta interview you. I gotta do a manual J. I gotta test your duct work. I gotta test your home to see if it leaks to the attic. I mean, you don't want to do this, right? Yeah. Same with my other clients. Y'all don't want to do this, right? But if you do, and you want to feel a way to pivot or make more money or just make another revenue source, that's me, man. I'm about to pivot. If I ain't getting on-demand heating, guess what? I'm selling blower doors. I'm selling consultations. It's all about me not getting burned out, is picking what I want to do as a small guy to be happy, you know, to put that detective hat on. And I like it, man. You know, yes, I get burned out. If you're feeling burned out, try something, reach out, man. The social media has made all this thing there to help you, you know, and I just want to help people. I want to pivot. Help me too, you know?
Yeah. I want to pivot over. I want to ask Bill and Joe. So Joe, have you reached the burnout point in the trade?
No, yeah. Which I'm surprised.
So you haven't, you haven't reached it yet.
I don't think so. No.
That's interesting. What about you, Bill? Have you reached it?
Yeah.
And then have you figured out how to get past it?
Changed up what I was doing, because I was only burned out because I got bored of working on the same things over and over again.
And, so I think that's fair. I mean, it happens to everybody where you're working on the same thing. I want to say that I bet you that's a lot of people's moments where they get burnt out, because it seems repetitive. It seems like you're going through the same crap every single day.
The
Eat,
same
sleep,
filters, the
wake
same
up,
dumb
fucking
shit.
start over. Same shit, you know.
It's like if you only had a certain, like you take care of these 5 restaurants or whatever, or these
Right.
5 houses for the rest of your career. That's it. It's like, yeah, you're going to be a master at those, but man, that's going to be boring as shit after a while.
So
You know?
Absolutely.
yeah, it's crazy. All right, well, I think it's time that we wrap this up. I
Thanks,
really
Ross.
appreciate.
It was good.
They want to hear the process is sacred.
The process is sacred, baby. You know that you walk that narrow path, it can apply to everything we do, no matter what level you're at on HVAC.
Fair enough. All right.
Well,
Say hit the
okay.
button.
Joe, do you want to take us out?
No.
I appreciate y'all though, man. Hey,
Yes.
this was
That was
really
that
cool.
was the perfect spot to end it.
Can't hear the music, Rob.
We're still live, so
Oh, are we?
So let out all your
Hands
swears.
yeah, I was just making sure John knew. Adam will pull up the outro, and then like we think we're not live, and then you'll say something, and you'll fuck yourself.
Good discussion for both angles.
You guys have
70%? Guys? Are you kidding me? I'm happy if we
We'll break that. We'll break it. We'll break it.
Are you yelling again?
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Come watch us next Friday,
Check out the website.
Christmas Eve. Check out the website. Give us a thumbs up.
HVACRvideos.com.
Yes.
Buy our shit.
Live tomorrow.
Buy those Snickers, baby.
And the
Mhm.
Snickers, yeah.
Next week, Joe will be in a good mood. Take care.
Yeah.
I might